Hello, and welcome back to StoneBlock 4. Last time we finished off the Resonant Void to finish out the main section here of Tier 4, as well as doing the majority of this subtree over here. And we unlocked Tier 5, albeit not very much of it. We automated Fortron, which wasn't really that hard, and automated Promethium using the Atomic Forge. That's what this thing is called, right? Yeah, okay. I keep thinking it's the Laser Forge for some reason. It just uses a laser. Between episodes, I did a little bit of building, just like added a hallway here and cleaned up some of the more outstanding stone areas back around that area. Nothing too crazy. I added some more auto-crafting capabilities for things like Vibrant Alloy and the various alloys from Mechanism. In preparation for today, I would like to get that Euphonium. I don't think it's going to be particularly hard. It should just be the Liquid Darkness for the recipe, I believe. Yeah, we have basically all this stuff already, besides the Liquid Darkness here, which is just a vat recipe for Liquid Sunshine and some other stuff. We need 20 buckets of Liquid Sunshine plus some Amethyst and Obsidian Dust, which is free. The Liquid Sunshine is relatively cheap. It's sunflowers and glowstone and water. Again, very cheap. After that, we only have one thing left to do, and that's the Chronon Resonator. For the Chronon Resonator, we need a whole lot of scary looking things, but to make things a little less scary, we need a whole bunch of Source, which we can do quite easily. We need a Chronon battery, which is very cheap. We made one of these at the start of the pack. We need 16 teleportation cores. This is why I made auto-crafting patterns for the atomic alloys and the like. We need 32 Chronoton glass, which is quite easy now that we've done the Chronoton vault. We need 16 Wyvern cores, which is a stack of Draconic cores and some Nether stars. Thankfully, we had a lot of Nether stars from the last time we went killing withers. And the Draconic cores are not particularly hard in this pack either. We need the Fortron, which of course we now have functionally infinite of. And the two hard things, which are pinned up here. We need Sheol fire, or Sheol fire. Let me actually Google this. I'm thinking Sheol. We need a refinery, and we can either refine lava into steam, sulfuric acid, and a little bit of Sheol fire, or if we add enderic compounds, we get sulfuric acid, a lot more of it, more Sheol fire, and some strange matter. It looks like we need the strange matter for some other things later, so we'll probably do the enderic compound recipe. I don't think that part will be too hard. The time crystals, however, I'm a little bit more concerned about. There are two ways to make this, that being in the world engine here with some Voidflame Fuel, Fortron, and some Enteral crystals and Fluxite. Two of these four things we have already passive. It's just the Voidflame Fuel and the Enteral crystals. Enteral crystals we can get on demand in the reaction chamber, or at least mostly. We can use a recursive recipe with this here. We can grind down the Enteral crystals into dust, and then we can use 32 dust to make a stack of crystals. So we can, as long as we have some extra, we can make more. The problem here is the Voidflame Fuel, because we do need quite a number of time crystals throughout the pack, namely for this time fluid. We need this for a number of things, like neutronium compressors and everything infinity. And also, I think it's just good to have this stuff, if I'm not mistaken. We could make the timey-wimey chicken, but I don't want to, because Roost has slighted me once. And it also seems a little easy, you know what I mean? I haven't really been that challenged by this pack, so I want to I want to try for something, you know what I mean? So I think that's probably what we'll end up spending most of the episode doing, or at least a non-insignificant portion of it. That, of course, referring to the Voidflame Fuel, because the rest of the stuff is simple enough, I think. We could also passive intro crystals, which might be an easier method than trying to on-demand and keep some in stock. We could also try and grow this stuff naturally, but I don't feel like that's the best solution. It feels like we'd have to over-engineer that, and I don't think that's really necessary. I think it might just be easier to passive this and keep a little bit in stock inside the reaction chamber. Or I guess a new reaction chamber, because I probably want another one of these. Anyway, we're starting with Euphonium. So for Liquid Darkness, we need the Liquid Sunshine, but to make Liquid Sunshine, we need a vat. And the vat is pretty cheap. Oh, this doesn't need power in this version? Crazy. Problem. I can't help but notice we don't have any sunflowers. I don't know where to get that. This is a block of stone. 4? Nor do I really know where to get torch flowers, because typically you would get those from sniffers, and sniffer eggs are from, the suspicious stuff, which doesn't drop those in this pack. Ah, I see. We can buy torch flower seeds from the quartermaster. That's probably what we're supposed to do. The problem is that does ruin my math, which is a little frustrating. But that's alright, we'll deal with it. It's just water, no biggie. Well, there's liquid sunshine. Just gonna take a little bit. Oh, we actually get more liquid sunshine than water that we put in. Okay, well, my math is no longer an issue at all then. Cool. Yeah, and liquid darkness is pretty easy. We just, you know, amethyst and obsidian. We talked about this already. Oh, this takes forever though? What the heck? Alright, let's go do something else while this cooks. So we're getting out to tier 5 now, as much as this is only somewhat tier 5. So I think we need to build a bit more space out in the tier 5 zone over here. I say tier 5 zone, I'm literally pointing at a rock right now. I'm kind of hesitant to just like build another that way and that way, because we've just kind of been doing that, but also we have been doing that. It does fit the vibe. As much as I try not to have, you know, straight line grid bases, well, I mean, we kind of have a thing going already, do we not? I guess I could push this out this way and like continue some Auratech stuff over here. I guess this would be where like the Fluxite and stuff is at. Yeah, maybe I make another one of these little like column looking things. I hesitate to call them cells, but like, you know, doohickeys here. Slots maybe, but like a bit wider. Instead of like a 7 wide, we make it like a 13 maybe? Because I feel like something like Sheol Fire might be a little tricky, because we also would want the Enderic Compound passive if we're doing Sheol Fire passive. I don't know if we need this passive. I mean, I don't know how much Strange Matter or Sheol Fire we need. I mean, it doesn't look like we need that much Strange Matter. We just need like a bucket every so often. I mean, how many singularities do we need? 1 per catalyst, and it's number of catalysts per thing, not including ingots. Wait, do ingots not require catalysts? Am I crazy? No, they do. They just don't require the... What? Did I just not see this? Whatever. Yeah, I'm thinking as like a 4.5. We'll put this like out here a little bit. Maybe we'll make this like a bit of a more proper end cap rather than just being a wall. Dude, I've just realized I've been recording the past little while with my mic off. Oh my god, what am I doing, man? Your goat is washed. I don't know what to say. Oh my goodness gracious. I was fiddling around with this thing for a while, but it seems to be working. So I guess you'll probably see the rest of that in like a quick little cut or something. Ugh. Oh man. Anyway, what I was saying is that we need to apply this Enderic compound into the refinery to make our Sheol Fire. And a very good way of doing this is with this pulverizer. And it produces 8 times as much as we need, so that'll be great. And it uses ender pearls, which is something we have, you know, no shortage of, right? We power our base with that. Speaking of which, we've produced 32 billion FE. We produced 32 billion FE from that endergenic generator, so it's been going pretty well, I gotta say. Before we get too ahead of ourselves though, let's add some liquid darkness and enderium. Hit that sick beat again. And collect our euphonium. Wow. What's our big reward? Some blaze gold boots. Anyway, make me an upgrade. Cool. What'd that do for me? It unlocks the soul laser base and soul surging. I don't know what that means. That'll probably come up. But hey, we're 100% complete up until this point now. That's pretty good. We're also done with this thing now. So what I think I can maybe do is these universal pipes from pipes. I'm not sure if these can extract and import on the same face. If not, I guess we could probably just use like conduits or something. But I want to see if I can set up a flux point here and then just like have this run power into basically everything here. Like that. I probably need an upgrade for this. This does not seem to get power, however, through an export side, which makes sense. That's fine. We have conduits for this purpose. So we can have a flux point and some conduit. We'll have item go from the pulverizer into the refinery. It's already filling up, great. And then we'll use these fluid pipes just because I think these look a little bit nicer than the ender conduits do for something like this. And we'll hook it up into these fluid drawers here. So I think now if I unconfigure this, this should want to fill up with the sulfuric acid. Or does it need to take from the top? Does it need to take from this? I hope it doesn't need to take from these specific sides, because that would be inconvenient. Oh, it looks like it connects quite well. That's not what I want to see. Oh, but it also connects up here. Oh, well, can I just do this then? Yes, I can. Okay, cool, great. So then this one should get the Sheol Fire, and then that one will get the unstable matter. But I need to turn this on first. or rather unturn it off. And yes, now we're getting strange matter, which can go into this one. Excellent. Now I just need to hook up some storage buses, and we will have automatic strange matter, Sheol fire, and sulfuric acid. But not the mechanism kind, because ew, yucky. Alright, looking pretty good, I gotta say. I just gotta break that lever, because it shouldn't be there anymore. It has no need to be there anymore. But I think this looks pretty good. It's a little lopsided, but like, you know, I don't care, that's fine. I'll live. So all that's left now is the time crystals, which really means all that's left is a little bit of Entro Crystal and the Void Flame. Now the thing about this is we probably want another reaction chamber, so we probably need to do all this stuff again, and then we're also going to need to do Void Flame automation. So we need to automate goo to refine Void Flame, and to get unrefined Void Flame we need to have Blaze Ember, which means we need to have goo that will also refine the unrefined Blaze Ember. So I have a plan. I've done this before, sort of, and with different blocks that don't exist in this version. See, that's the hard part, right? Is doing things with things that I don't know. It's new and scary to me. That said, before I go jumping into that, I did run into a minor issue that is bugging me. You see, I do a lot of auto-crafting here because I'm lazy and crafting is for suckers. The problem is I'm running out of pattern slots for a lot of things. Like the assembler's full, the alloy smelter's almost full, the crusher's almost full, the world engine's full. This is the big one, really. I mean, I have a pattern in here for fluid pipes that I can't fit in here yet. And so the solution to this is the extended pattern provider. The problem is you can't just make these, you have to make a crystal assembler. And, you know, all this stuff. So I need auto-crafting with a crystal assembler, which is unfortunate because I don't have a spot for that. Like, I've kind of stuffed things into as many walls as I can so far. I guess I could put them into these walls, and I might, but that feels wrong. Also, hello, Mace. So maybe I, just put a column here and do something like this. Let's see if it works. No auto output, but that's okay. That's fixable. There we go. You can't even tell what I did. Yeah, I put a conduit there. You probably know already. It's a conduit. Oops. I didn't think that would break the conduit. I guess breaking facades breaks conduits in this version. Right, so making Entro crystals. So we can make this with dust and the Fluix crystals, so we need passive Fluix if we were to do this. Or at least auto-craftable Fluix. Which we have auto-craftable Fluix, but it's not passive. It might be worth just having 32 dust on hand maybe? Or maybe we have, I'm trying to think of a way that we could auto-craft with this while still leaving the 32 extra for dust. I guess we could have it so the recipe only reads that it creates 32 crystals and then it automatically takes 32 crystals and puts it into a grinder. That would probably work. Do we have any Entro crystals just left around? Oh my goodness gracious, we have a number. Well, that's a nice start. How much of this do we need is the thing, actually. Do we need that many Entro crystals? One time crystal gets us a bucket of time fluid. Do I think we're gonna need 300 buckets of time fluid? Probably not, right? Yeah, that's fine. We don't need to automate this, actually. We can batch craft that if we ever need to again. Okay, well, let's just skip to the hard part. So for Void Flame, we need unrefined Void Flame, which we can make in a reaction chamber. And to get the unrefined Void Flame, we need refined Blaze Ember, which needs a goo on the unrefined Blaze Ember, which we get from dropping Blaze Ember into polymorphic fluid. Now the other thing about this is this also requires us to have passive Void Flame and passive Blaze Ember. Well, if not passive, then auto-craftable, right? It's probably just auto-crafting is all we really need for this. So we need to be able to tell the system to make Blaze Ember and Void Flame, which it might be easier to passive specifically Blaze Ember and Void Flame. Because the thing about each of these is these are from gooing a previous tier of coal. Oh man, do I really want to go through all of this for something I don't even need to do? That's the thing, right? I could just suck it up and just make the time chicken. This is so easy. This is so easy compared to what I'm putting myself through. Because I'm trying to think of logistically how this would work. We would need to constantly fill up goos and apply food to goo. Can you do that automatically? Does that work like a hopper? Let me check the Just Dire Things book. Maybe they've got information for that on me. So does something like this work? Yeah, I didn't expect it to, but I mean, you can't fault me for trying, right? What about a clicker? Is a clicker what I'm looking for here? So if I like put this in there, okay, a clicker would work. So we would have a clicker fed with ender pearls into a goo to keep the goo constantly going. That works. And then we would need to have some variety of coal, the void coal and the various just dyer's coals basically being placed in here into these slots when applicable, and then mined and constantly up tiering. I mean, it doesn't seem that awful now that I'm thinking about it. This would probably need a good amount of space though. I'm like trying to compact this in my head and it doesn't seem like it's very compact is the thing. Shoot, man, I'm just really hoping I never have to do this again. So I think all I need to do is have the fuel, like the coals passive, and the rest can be done on demand. And I think if I do the rest on demand, it should be pretty easy. What I'm hoping I can do is, there's like a fluid collector. Yeah, we can have an advanced fluid collector. I think I made one of these earlier. You could theoretically filter this with the right types of fuel that you would want, and then just bring that back into the AE system. And so what I'm thinking we could do is we have like the goo here. We're feeding this. Whenever we request fuel, we'll be able to just have the coals on hand and send it into the reaction chamber to make the unrefined fuel. Send it into this. This will place, this will goo, this will pick it up and only pick up the right goo because we'll have a filter for it. It'll send it back into the system, send it back to a reaction chamber to up tier it, do it again, and over again until we have Voidflame. This actually seems a bit easier than I was giving it credit for. Maybe I can make this quite compact, actually. Let's find out. Let's see what we can do here. All right, first problem. The clicker is trying to throw ender pearls. Not ideal. I wonder how slow I can make this thing. Like maybe if it's just like abysmally slow, that'll work. So that would be once every 30 seconds. Like that would be fine. It'd be a little wasteful, but it'd be fine. Yeah, and if it wastes an ender pearl every minute, who cares? We have like 20,000 ender pearls and an enderman spawner. We're fine. Okay, so next we're gonna have some block placers here. One for the coal blocks, one for the tier 2 coal blocks, and one for the tier 1 coal blocks. I don't care to remember their names anymore. I'm gonna get them wrong every time. I've probably already gotten them wrong a dozen times. Who cares at this point, right? So we can have each of these with an export bus on them, basically filtering for like a small amount of whatever they're supposed to be placing, because I would really not like to buffer a full stack of each of these if I can help it. So maybe I'll just use an interface, actually. That's probably the best idea. Let me just grab an interface. Okay, so here's what I've got going on now. We've got some laser IO conduits, or I guess nodes hooked up down here, so that they will basically transfer blocks of coal here, and the primal coal and the blaze ember here, and it will do that. So now I need a breaker, ideally one with a lot of fortune. So we want these into drawers. Or maybe we don't actually. Maybe we don't want the normal ones. And just have like a subnet to break and then put it into, and then we'll have the controller on the main net with the fact that we can have wireless drawers, because modern Minecraft is crazy. Modern technology is truly unparalleled. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try that. Oh, but also we want like fortune a lot on these. So let's get fortune a lot. Oh, we do not have fortune a lot. I need more fortune. I guess I'm doing some enchanting real quick. Oh my goodness gracious, never mind. Holy. Okay, so I think I've got it working. At least mostly. Hold on, the quantum goat is coming. Beat it. Okay, so we are automatically placing the blocks of coal, which gets gooed. And then these high fortune annihilation planes immediately bring it into the system here and put it straight into this compacting drawer here. Here's a problem, is this is happening. I don't suppose there's a way for me to filter individual annihilation planes, is there? I've got a different idea. Okay, so we're using quartz fiber to basically split up each of these. So these annihilation planes only read the contents of this specific line here. So this annihilation plane only cares about this drawer, this annihilation plane only cares about this drawer, and this annihilation plane only cares about this drawer. And it looks like it's working. Basically, once we have this giving us the void flame, I think we're just good to leave this go. and then set up the rest of the system with like the whitelist for the fluid collector and auto-crafting and stuff. So I need to fortune this first. Cool. And now I think I can just leave this hands off and running, and it will figure itself out, right? That ember fuel should turn into Voidflame. Nice. And it's immediately picked up and brought straight into here. Yes, awesome. My only regret is that it doesn't have a higher level of fortune because this is going to be pricey. Like each of these drawers can hold a stack of blocks because ideally I would like to have it hold. Wow. Can I make it hold less than less? Actually, hold on. Can I put 2 downgrades on something? Oh, no. It okay, no, it's still just maxed out at 64. That sucks. I would like if it could hold like 8 at a time. I think would be my ideal, but I don't think there's a way for me to do that, unfortunately. But that's okay. Okay, so given AE2 has been really kind with fluids lately, I'm hoping that this will just work. So what I'm hoping is we can just put in a fluid recipe into here, and it'll place the fluid, goo the fluid, and this will be whitelisted and just send it straight back into the pattern provider down here. That's the goal, at least. That's the hope. So let's see what happens if I request some blaze ember fuel. What does the machine do? I should also probably block this off so it doesn't make a mess. I'll put glass here later, but I just need this to not like spill. And it'd probably help if I powered this. So why aren't you placing? Oh, because you're trying to put it there. Why? What? There. Yeah, place there. Whenever. Would you like to place your fluid? It's a fluid placer. Why is it not placing fluid? Oh, I had it set to allow list, not deny list. Oopsie. This one should be on allow list, however. And it makes the fluid. Allow blaze ember fuel. If we put this back down and set this to ignored. Oh, this is probably rendering the wrong. Yeah, it's doing yeah. There we are. Okay. It did pick it up. That's awesome. That's pretty good. And then let's do the same for Voidflame. So if I ask for some Voidflame now. Yes. Good. Get it? Like good. It's crazy that I can be funny and smart at the same time. And we have our Voidflame. All right. Nice. So now we should just be able to autocraft time crystals, which is sick. So we need 8 for the resonator. So let me make 8 time crystals. Let's see if it'll do it. I mean, it looks quite promising. It's scheduling. It's looking good. It's gooing. I should probably also clean up my mess here. It's a good time to do this now. And fortunately, we actually do, because we need a full block for each of these, we usually have a couple of the coals left over. So that's pretty convenient, I gotta say. It lets it so we're pretty consistently able to still autocraft. 8 time crystals, wow, can you believe it? Alright, and so I've had the rest of the stuff here in my backpack for a while, and I just grabbed the 10 buckets of Sheol fire. So let's see if we can't make a resonator. Whoa, why am I moving so fast? Oh, probably, because this thing like makes you like mess with time, right? That's kind of, oh yeah, because I'm moving like a bit slower now, I think. Am I? I don't know. Ooh. Well, now I think I'm moving slower. Let's go do this world engine craft before I cease to exist. Alright, so in just a couple seconds, I think we'll have enough source to get this going. Alright. We're immediately empty on power. I gotta figure out a faster way to transfer power, because evidently this 40k is just not doing it. That might be an issue with the ME systems. Applied flux is the thing I'm thinking of, with that throughput. So I should see if I can do something about that. How much power did this take again? 39 million. Wow. And 131k as a throughput. That's I mean, that's quite a lot. That's the thing about that, is that's a big number. Was it done? Oh, it's done. Oh, nice. Ooh, 100 bucks. So let's go chat with Wormrite, it looks like. All right, so we can now open a gateway to the Fractured Void. I did it. And I have this Chronon battery to a spot in the Fractured Void, but I already have that in my battery, so this, I don't need that. I guess I'll just stuff it in the ME system, it's fine. And I guess this just exists for like vibes now, presumably? Probably. So now we can go to the Fractured Void and not be cheating. All right, let's check that out. Ooh, this is pretty. I like this like event horizon that's going on here. This is cool. Wow, that's like really pretty actually. That's like super pretty. So we have Radiance, Infinity, and Chaos. But the quest only recommends us to go to Chaos and Radiance as it stands. So I guess we'll start with Chaos.
A human? Here? Well, that's improbable. You should have been torn apart the moment you entered the void. And yet, I detect my counterpart in this. So, they found a way to reach me after all, despite all my warnings. Always so defiant. Always refusing to listen to me just because I was the younger one. Typical. Well, since you made it here, I'll just have to trust my counterpart knows what they're doing. We've been holding this realm together for what feels like forever. Time doesn't flow right here. It stretches endlessly, twisting around the event horizon. Every second the void pushes harder and harder, and every second we push back. I don't know how much longer we can hold it, or how much of our knowledge the work thingamajigger will even retain when all of this eventually ends. Now listen up. The Awakened Draconic core must be restored if you wish to upgrade your world engine. It was the most ingenious invention of our species, a capacitor capable of storing infinite amounts of energy. You will have to combine several hundred individual alloys into blocks before we can assemble it. Once that's done, you return to me, and I'll assemble it myself. We must do whatever it takes to stop this collapse.
Okay. So you just want me to build the big ball? I can do the big ball. Oh. I didn't consider the ball would be that big. So that is 378 Awakened Draconium Blocks. That is how many Dragon Hearts? Oh dear. That is 95 Dragon Hearts. Or, 95 buckets of ether gas. 95 life stones, fiery blood. Well, the fiery blood's not too bad. We can just loot fabricate that. Life stones. Ooh. That's 180 red matter? No, 190 red matter. Whole lot of hearts, but the hearts shouldn't be that much of a problem. We need to cast 190 magmaliths? Are you serious? 100 ticks? That's so much waiting. Well, one step at a time, I suppose. Let's go talk to Radiance.
Astonishing. I did not expect a human to withstand the collapse of the void. That alone confirms you were chosen. Furthermore, the draconic device in your possession tells me the work protocol has selected you, which means your purpose aligns with ours, though your lifespan remains far more limited. My tasks will not be simple. While your world engine already channels a considerable amount of void energy, no echo has studied the void as intimately as I have. My upgrade will allow you to fully infuse its unrestrained power into your world engine. Prolonged exposure to the void's event horizon has enabled me to replicate its properties under controlled conditions. You must first create a black hole by accelerating particles with enough force to compress neutrons into a solid state. Using these neutron piles, you can convert nuclear waste into a substance that, when supplied with an immense amount of energy, transforms into fluid antimatter. When solidified antimatter and red matter collide under sufficient force, a miniature black hole will form. Finally, you must contain the black hole within a vessel made with an awakened draconic alloy, the only material capable of enduring such raw power. You will also need a solidified dark matter base to stabilize it within the world engine. Once you return, I will speak with the others to determine the optimal position for its integration into your world engine.
Alright, yep. Let me see those shops. I mean, that's like okay. What about the other one? An Eclipse Alloy Anvil. I feel like that's gotta be a little bit late for that, right? The Endless Gateway, though, is a little bit more interesting. Don't I have one of those? Yeah, I do. Alright, well, the shop was kind of a bust here today, it would appear. Speaking of busts, I think my bank account's gonna be busted after this. So we need a truly comical amount of Awakened Draconium, and... what? Milking the Mighty Ender Chicken will give you Molten Chaos. Ah, we drilled the chicken. Got it. Oh, specifically the Mighty Ender Chicken, my mistake. So we need to stasis chamber, which is from Industrial Foregoing. That's something I've never played with. Over the Ender Chicken to milk it for chaos. Combine that with particle acceleration. Need plutonium dust. Uh-oh. Oh boy, this is going to be a process, isn't it? So we turn polonium into antimatter. It says we use this SPS. Maybe this is disabled in this pack or something. I am not entirely sure what's making it so I would not be using that. But I mean, I guess they're telling me to use this, so I'll probably use that. The thing I'm confused about is, are we using the mechanism reactor? Oh, I see. To convert nuclear waste, which lets you create antimatter using the SPS. Gotcha. Ah, I see. So we turn nuclear waste from, I guess, this reactor from mechanism into polonium in a neutron activator at over 420 Celsius. That's funny. And with a little bit of neutronium, I think I read right. So we need to do endgame mechanism, endgame industrial foregoing, and that will combine into endgame Auratech, which we are doing side by side with endgame Draconic Evolution. Well, I must say it's very convenient that we've had to do industrial foregoing and Auratech and mechanism up until this point. And by that, I mean we've only had to do, I think, one of those. So I guess we're doing the entire mechanism line soon. Great. That's my favorite part of everything, is mechanism randomly takes 20 hours. Wonderful. Well, that's a lot to look forward to. It's probably worth looking at this first, though, just because this is probably going to take forever. Again, 95 Dragon Hearts. We also need to get the ether gas, so we're going to need to milk a wither as well. Yeah, I think we'll probably start this first because this is probably what's going to take longer. But before we do that, I'm like tempted to come over here because, like, you know, I can, but I like shouldn't, so I'm not going to. Also, why can't I just like go here and then click complete? I'm not complete. What's going on, man? Well, I'm going to edit some footage and see how long this episode's already come out to. And then once I'm done with that, we'll see how much time we've got left and see how much more stuff there is to do. Ooh, I just realized before I forget. What's the point in life if you're not checking things off your list? Or if the quantum goat appears? No, go ahead. Try and hit me. Do it. You didn't even try! What the? Oh man, what a day. Anyhow, I'll be back. Alright, so we don't have very much time left, but that's alright. We've got a few quick things to do, and by a few I mean like one. We're going to set up Draconic Fusion Crafting. So we need these Fusion Crafting cores, well, one, as well as 8 of these injectors. There are some crafts that require 12, but, you know, I didn't see any that needed 12 that I care about, so we'll just do this. For the most part, I think we can do this. Replica, I'm a little concerned about. I'm not sure if we have enough of this. Oh, I forgot we had gotten 31 blocks from that ocean. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, pretty easy recipe. And these aren't much harder. Dare I say, actually, these were easier. So we're definitely going to want to automate this because, you know, I'm lazy and all that. We also probably want to set these to single item mode real quick, just for sake of automation, of course. And I think we'll use these laser nodes again because these things are sick. So what I'm really curious is if we can pull and push from the same side and just use the laser node. We don't have to use like a barrel or anything. Oh, well, that's awkward. I guess I'm going to just pull this one more this way, actually. So to give this a shot, we're just going to encode the Wyvern crafting injector recipe here and hope for the best. So if I request one of these, what happens? Oh, right. Well, we'll do that first. Okay, now what if we try one of these? Does it put it places? Does it recognize that there's like a thing here? I don't think it does. What if I slap like a barrel here? Will it suddenly want to push everything to that barrel? Yes. Okay, so we need to hook this up to an intermediary barrel first. That's okay. All right, now what if we try one of these? What happens? Oh. Oh, nice. Exactly as I want it to? Wonderful. These just need like power, which I didn't consider, but is an easy fix. I'm sorry, what do you mean no valid recipe? Do you not see the Draconium block there? Oh, it's, okay, I see the issue. Okay, so this is now reading everything. It had to be in a bit of an awkward spot, but that's alright. So if we set down this redstone clock here, does that turn it on? It does receive power. Cool, cool, cool. Alright. Looks good. Let's see if it auto-outputs correctly. The particles are a little strange. I think I preferred the old ones. Doesn't seem to want to auto-pull, but that might just be because it's not really seeing a good place to put it. Does it not want to insert into a pattern provider is maybe the issue. What if I had another barrel here? Yes, it just doesn't want to put into a pattern provider. So that's okay. We can fix that. Yeah, actually we can just like set a conduit here and that's probably fine. So if we throw this in here. Nice. Alright, well let's replace the rest of these now. Alright, new problem. We're out of Draconium. Which does make sense, you know, we just burned through a lot of it. But I kind of wish we had just like a tiny bit more, because we're like almost there. Come on, man. So I think our options of acquisition are a little limited. There is naturally, of course, the Draconium chicken, but that's for nerds. So I guess it would be like unearthing on endstone, which we do have the guys for that. We just need to have a bunch of endstone. Wait, don't I have a... Oh. Okay, that's a... Yeah, this problem will solve itself shortly. Alright, good news and bad news. Good news? We have all of these. I probably should pick these up for the quest, though. The bad news is I just realized something. So, you know, I was kind of waiting on that Draconium for a little bit there. You know, that took about another 40. I had to wait a couple minutes for that. We need 1,000 blocks? We need we need over 9,000 Draconium? What are we gonna do about that? So in terms of ways to get Draconium, there are a couple. If we had an Ender Dragon or a Chaos Guardian model, we could loot fabricate tons of Draconium, and I imagine rather quickly. The issue with that is we would need an Ender Dragon data model, and I don't know if we can get that. It's a 1 in, I believe that is 2,500 chance from the random data model crate. And as much as I would like to, you know, roll that for 75 coins 2,500 times, I wouldn't actually. So other alternatives include maybe the laser drill works out in the end area. Does that count as the end? I guess there's only one way to find out. I don't know where else one could obtain Draconium from. So I guess I'll test the laser drill real quick. This is not overly promising, I will be honest, as lead is blacklisted in the end, and you know, that's where we'd be wanting to be at. Also, I just got copper, so I'm thinking this is not the end. Okay, I think I have a plan. If you see those little not Thumbcraft aspects down there, those are replication values or something? Matter values. So this has 4 alien, 9 helmet, 18 end, and 4 ender pearl. I'm sure I'll recognize those more later. And if you look at something like dark matter or red matter, this has 16,000 of basically all of those. Alternatively, I believe we can buy full matter tanks as well. They're a little pricey, but we can do it. So maybe that's our solution to get 9,000 Draconium? So I'm thinking that's probably what we'll do next time, is to figure out how to replicate things. Because, you know, 1,100 blocks of Draconium isn't just gonna fall out of the sky. We have to fabricate it, or replicate it. But, as I mentioned, that's something we'll do next time. I feel like we did pretty good today, and the episode actually looks cohesive for once. I say for once, as if the last time wasn't the exception. We automated some cool stuff, and we got to Tier 5 properly. Pardon the screams of the damned back there, you know how it gets. Anyway, next time I think we'll be doing that replication stuff like I said, and hopefully foraying a little bit further into Tier 5. I imagine we'll be here for quite a while. But I do believe that that is the final tier, so I'm thinking about what I'm going to be doing after this. I have a small checklist of ideas for packs, and if you'd like, shameless plug, you could join the cool Discord in the description and tell me what you think about those options. I haven't posted them there yet, unless I did at point of upload. I haven't at time of recording, but maybe I will by the time you see this. Anyway, I'll worry about that in, you know, like a month or whatever, when I actually get around to finishing this pack, but, you know, I'm just kind of rambling as I commonly do. Anyway, Thank you for watching. Bye bye.